Good morning, Mr. Nick, on this fine, not sunny day in Edmonton, Alberta. How are you today?
Yeah, raining again, eh, Casey?
Always
Yeah.
rain, and the Bitcoin price is raining down to 111,202 American dollars today. And we've got a big Fed meeting, so I was curious of what you're seeing on Polymarket or what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so I had a look at Polymarket earlier today and yeah, it says a quarter of basis point cut. So I'm at 99% odds of that. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. That would be a good guess. Polymarket's usually right on that.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I think we know what the cut's going to be. I think it's more if Jerome Powell's going to sneeze in the wrong direction or
Yeah, yeah,
mix
that's
up
true.
his words. Are we hawkish? Are we dovish? And where are we going to get any certainty on the future? But I think what I've learned from Fed meeting days, don't do a lot of trading.
Yeah, fair.
A lot of times I always think that these Fed cuts are just going to make Bitcoin boom up, to 120K today. But typically, it's the opposite I've been finding.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody overanalyzes the hell out of what Jerome Powell says. It's kind of funny. I don't know who I was listening to one podcast a month or two ago, and they're talking about him and everybody analyzing every literally breath that Jerome takes in all these meetings and whatnot. And I mean that's the fiat world, man. Like that is just the epitome of the fiat world. Who gives a shit what the central banker says? I mean, just stack sats and stay humble and stack sats, and eventually the price will go up and the price will reflect the value in the true value in Bitcoin. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
time.
yeah. No, I think this is going to be the first cut of many to come in the next couple of months. So it's good for our mortgage rates, and if anybody needs to do a renewal.
Do you think that there's going to be more than one more after this one this year?
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, we'll probably get one in November and then another one in January.
Okay, so one more after this one this year, and then one more in early 2026. That's what you're guessing.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay.
Should I grab my dog here? I might as well introduce her to the crew. This is Hope. We named her after Bitcoin. It's always good to have an animal named after Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Suggest
for
that
sure.
we need more of them in the world.
When are people going to start naming their children after Bitcoin?
God, if I were to have another child, which I'm not, I would probably have some sort of reference to something Bitcoin in their name.
Yeah, you think so, eh?
I'm about
Interesting.
this close to getting my Bitcoin tattoo as well. So I'm just,
Really? Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. No, I've definitely been thinking about it for a couple of years now, and it seems like I'm not worried about Bitcoin going to zero or failing anymore.
Do you have a Bitcoin tattoo, or do you have a tattoo of any
No,
tattoo yet? No.
no, that would be my first
Interesting.
tattoo. So first one of probably the only one I would ever get.
Really? All right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
So you hear about MicroStrategy yesterday getting their B minus rating.
I did. Yeah, I briefly heard about it. I didn't look into it much, but you said B minus?
B minus, yeah. No, I did quite a bit of research
Okay.
yesterday, and it's from the S&P, so they're the ones who ranked it.
Yeah, okay.
So when I think about that, that's typically it's better to have A rating than no rating,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of different funds out there that can't invest unless there is a rating. It doesn't even matter what the rating is.
Oh, really?
There just actually have to be one.
Okay.
So it does prove very bullish, I guess you could say, in the long term. And when I think about the S&P, if they're rating it, that typically means that they're probably going to get included. I don't know when the next date is for inclusion on the S&P 500, but I think it's coming up pretty soon.
I believe it's sometime in December.
Okay, and then earnings call is this Thursday as well for MicroStrategy.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that too.
And I think Facebook, Meta, Google, and MicroStrategy are all on Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's going to be, I think the next 24 to 72 hours is going to be a wild ride to watch the price of Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, from what I'm hearing, a ton of volatility.
Well, do you remember what the Bitcoin price was when MSTR like their last earnings call?
The Bitcoin price was, yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it was at 104,000-ish, like give it
Okay.
a
So
little
it
bit.
is up a little bit from that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they've done well in their earnings side of things, so it'll be a good positive call. I mean,
Okay.
for the people that understand how MicroStrategy
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. No,
But
that's
I mean, I know I actually watched a great 30-minute speech with Scott Melker and Michael Saylor. We're in Vegas. I think it was 2 days ago for not a Bitcoin or crypto conference. It was a fintech money, old school investor kind of. I think it was called like Money Matters or Money 2025 or something. So just like
okay.
about money. But they had Michael Saylor in there, and he did a lot of talking about stretch and stride and strike and strive.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
seems like what the people are saying that I listen to or that I watch and read are like he's virtually on the brink of making like this is a Bitcoin bank now. It just
yeah,
provides yield at different rates to different investors that want, whether it's a monthly dividend or a yearly dividend or however the customer wants it. But this whole stretch thing, it could be bigger than we can ever imagine once it catches on. Like he's talking about becoming $1 trillion asset just by using stretch because it guarantees people 10%. And
yeah.
you can talk about how shitty the fiat system is for a little while, but I mean, I don't know what you get in your bank account on your savings account for interest.
What savings? All I have is debt in Bitcoin.
But if you did have savings,
If I did, yes, if I did. Yeah.
I
Uh,
think it's close to 0.0001%.
yeah, it ain't great. Well, now that you bring up MicroStrategy, I did hear this again the other day on one pod, and I can't remember the pod. I was trying to think about it this morning, which one, but I can't remember. But anyhow, what are your thoughts on MSTR becoming nationalized?
Oh, that whole topic. Yeah. Oof. I think there's a 50-50 chance it could happen.
Yeah, I
I
think there's
truly do. Whether it's this
yeah,
month, next year, I
yeah,
don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it would definitely be while Trump is in office. That'll be sooner than later. And I don't know what percentage it would be. Maybe they just take 25% of it. But at the same time, what do you think about MicroStrategy starting to buy some of these digital asset treasury or Bitcoin treasuries that are under 1M nav as just a simple, easy way to get a ton of Bitcoin at a discounted price? That's the news on the street that I'm hearing.
interesting.
So
I haven't heard this yet.
as these treasuries are, let's say asset, which is Strive, which is one I follow a lot. Like Mike Alfred
Yeah.
just 2 days ago, I believe, put in a massive position. Like they traded at over $1 billion asset did one day, and the price basically went from what was it, like 86 cents all the way up to $1.06, all $1.70, $1.80. Then it came back down a little. But the volatility in these things is insane right now. Like every morning I wake up, it's like, okay, which Bitcoin treasury went up 40% and which one went down 30%?
Jeez. It's, on this whole topic of Bitcoin treasury companies, and I would put MSDR, a MicroStrategy or strategy now in a slightly different box in a different box and even Metaplanet, I would actually put in a different box too. But that's about it, to be completely honest. I just think there's lots of insider trading, and I don't think. I mean, it's pretty obvious, man, when you see these price movements and you watch it over the last 6 months, all these things getting rug like people are getting fucked, like the retail is getting fucked on this stuff,
Short term,
and yeah, short term, yeah, and who knows what's going to happen in 5 years or 3 years
yeah,
or
they could be
2 years.
the
Yeah,
best
they
performing stocks in the
yeah,
history of the planet.
for sure. That's a possibility. I'm not, but when they're going at like $10 to like 10 cents or 50 cents, like a Nakamoto, I think was one of the big losers here in the last few
Oh yeah,
months.
that because seems like
And I
pointing
mean,
around to it.
I'm trying to give my best advice to the listener of the show. Bitcoin is the superior asset, and Bitcoin is much more, you don't have to worry so much. It might drop for sure. It's volatile too. We all know that. But these other ones are controlled entities. They have potentially insider trading. I would recommend, unless you're very, very experienced and whatnot in the game, I would definitely recommend sticking to Bitcoin.
Yeah, my 2 cents on if you're going to get at all involved in these things, you better have done thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of research. Because I tell you, one of the ones that I'm kicking myself for lately is the mining stocks. I mean, Iron, Clean Spark, Hut 8, all these guys, like they're up 2000% in a year. And I had these back in the day and I just was not patient enough.
Mm.
And that's all I'm starting to realize is you just got to set your positions. If you believe in them, just wait, turn off the computer, go touch grass, read a good book, take your family out for dinner, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But looking at it, I know it can be very, very stressful on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, really just cold storage Bitcoin is probably the easiest thing for most people to get started with.
And it comes down to I've never done dollar cost averaging really in my life in Bitcoin. I've just when I've had extra money, I've put it in, and then I moved my stock portfolio mostly to Bitcoin over the last number of years. But I'd say for the average person, dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, serves a good purpose of if you have the mindset where you get antsy when things go drop 10% or 20%, if you dollar cost average kind of levels out that like sure you might be down 20% in the last month on your last month of buys, but you won't be down 20% on your last 6 months or your last year, right? And then people will typically have a calmer mindset going forward if they dollar cost average. They won't end up selling because the last thing you want to do with Bitcoin is sell it.
Yeah.
Like you might be down, but selling it and trading it, you're likely over the long term, you're likely going to get wrecked more than just buying and holding.
Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, I forgot to say this last podcast, but I heard it. I was just looking at my hat here. Strike, Jack Mahler's company out of the States. When they, 2 Fridays or two, yeah, it was almost, well, it'll be 3 Fridays this week. But when we had that big flash crash from like 20 to 104 or 99 on some places, that they didn't have one loan that got called. Not one.
Really? Wow, that's impressive. Kudos
It
to
was,
Jack for that. That's good.
it was impressive because, yeah.
Now, did he just not call them because it was so fast? Or did they have not one that actually even hit the
So most people, so this is what I learned about kind of more in Canada, and the American market is different, I think, a little bit. I mean, I only know a handful of Bitcoiners around here that I could talk about this stuff with, other than my internet people that I watch. But a lot of the people that are using Strike have very sizable loans, number one. But their LTV is so like they don't even come in at 50%, most of his customers. They come in at only like 30%, 35%. So so they're like they're adding more Bitcoin than is needed to get the loan so that they never have that problem. And that's something
Oh,
they really teach their customers, the
yeah.
explanation of that. So because they've done such a good job at rolling out the product, and working with their customer, like the customer service team, to explain, like, hey, if you want $100,000 loan, maybe put $400,000 of Bitcoin in, so you're only at
Yeah, that's right.
25% LTV, because then really you have very zero chance of it really happening.
Nothing zero, but I get your point,
Nothing zero,
Casey.
but it's
Yeah,
very
I
small.
mean very small, and I would say much to that point. Like in Canada, we have the service here, Ledn, Ledn. Shout out to them. I've actually used them a number of times, and it's a great service to get some extra, or to lever up a little bit. But I would never lever up. I'd never put my whole stack in there. Obviously, I would never lever up, more than 10%, honestly. Like keep it on the low end, and you'll definitely be able to put more in there if things drop, and they give you a bit of warning usually, and this and that next thing. So
Oh yeah, no, they do.
read into them, do your own research, but it's a great product for if you have your furnace goes out in your house and whatever, you need to buy a $5,000 purchase tomorrow. I mean, it gets in your bank account within 2 days. Like it's crazy fast.
Oh yeah,
And
mine took 6 hours.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fast. So it's a good product for sure.
There's going to be so many more good tools in the future coming for us
You
to be
know,
able to use our Bitcoin in day-to-day life.
shout out to Bull Bitcoin in Canada too.
Well, yeah, tell me
Um,
about it.
they are awesome. Have you downloaded their app yet? Their wallet app?
I have not, but I know I have.
Come on.
I
Okay,
will.
so
Tell me about it.
truthfully, I haven't used it much. I have played around with it a little bit, but it's just brand newly released to the public on the app stores now. I had it a few months ago and I was plugging around because I'm in a chat that they have it early on, like it's kind of, what would you say, beta or whatever. I have played around with it a little bit, not a lot, because I'm not really buying a ton these days of Bitcoin because I've kind of bought what I had and had an expensive vacation and whatnot. But anyhow, you can buy Bitcoin through there. It's a wallet you can hold. It has your keys, like you can back it up offline. So it's not just an online wallet. Like you can back up your seed phrase as well. So there's anybody that is looking. I mean, lots of people in the industry that are familiar with it are calling it one of the better ones now. I would also recommend checking out BTC Sessions on YouTube.
Yeah.
He just dropped a tutorial on it.
Sure.
So check it out. He's the leader in the educational space in Bitcoin. So I haven't watched it yet, but imagine he went into great detail on it. So check it out.
Yeah. There's nobody better at explaining that kind of stuff to us, so I will definitely watch that video
Yeah.
and download the
Super. And I think I'm gonna transition to that one for my day-to-day use. Oh, it has Lightning too. So it's Bitcoin, Lightning, as well as seed phrase and this and that next thing. Like it's gonna be a gooder.
Nice. Nice. So one of the other topics I think we're going to just speak briefly about, because I know we've got lots of local people that are hopefully watching this channel, is we got a meetup coming up soon. Tell us, like, what's the date? What's the plan? What are we doing?
Okay. So November, we have a meetup at Allendale Hall. So this one's kind of in relation to the white paper day. The white paper released on October 1st, 2008. So we're 17 years after that, coming up here in 2 days. Yeah, so that's the reason for the meetup. It's one of the bigger ones Edmonton has put on as of lately, anyhow. We're the Bitcoin Warehouse, me and Casey here. We're kind of putting it on. We're hoping for, a fairly good attendance. It's going to have free pizza, drinks, whatnot. We've had a few challenges. I haven't put on anything quite this size before, so it's been a bit of a learning process for me. So there's been a few challenges, which I'll speak on in a minute, but we also have games, raffles, prizes. There's 5 sponsors. Shout out to all the sponsors. Bull Bitcoin is one. Bitcoin Well is another. Sustain Hash is another. We have QuickBit out of Regina is another one. And Cash to Crypto is the 5th one. So 5 sponsors, lots of prizes, whatnot. It's a great time. It should be a great time to come out. Lots of games. The challenge for me was dealing with the fiat world, ironically, when doing this. So everything in the Bitcoin world worked fine, but once you start getting into the regulatory process of alcohol and raffles, who the hell, like, come on, it's ridiculous. So alcohol, it's unaffordable to get an alcohol license in this province for anything other than thousands of people, or ballpark that. So that has been at least for a public event. I have learned, and in the future I will do a private event, and there are a few workarounds. I'm going to figure this out for the next one, where getting a liquor license is just like getting it for a person's wedding. It's super easy and online and super easy, but it has to be a private event. Can't be publicly advertised. Can't be, open to anybody to show up, which of course I want all these events open to everybody. That's part of how you grow the community, but here we are. The fiat world throws a monkey wrench into everything all the time.
Well, I'll tell you something. I just was looking at my email the other day because we get the notifications of how many members. I think, if I'm correct, we hit 111 people that have joined the meetup group.
Yeah, that's last I saw too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, we started with 2 of us or 3 of us with Murph, and then
we've
a few others maybe about a year ago.
Yeah, I would say, well, no, not even. I think we started in early.
It was cold when we started.
Early spring or late winter.
Yeah,
late winter, early spring. So it's been probably 8-9 months. So that's pretty good for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I think we're going to get 50 or so people out to this event. It'll be family friendly, lots of fun, open to everyone. That's you've done a great job. So thank you for putting in all the work so that we can grow the Edmonton community and then the Alberta community eventually. Maybe one day we'll have a conference or something. But or a ski trip with
special event type thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I think it'd be a good time to just get out and talk to Bitcoiners. I'd suggest anybody that's actually listening or watching this show is that find your local meetup group, get to know the people, because in my experience, I remember being very nervous going to the first meetup that I ever went to. And I was probably like 2 years, maybe 3 years into Bitcoin, like just learning about it every day and buying a little bit. And I was shaking like going into the event because I didn't know what to expect. And now it's probably my most fun thing to do. And I've met some of my best friends have all come from that. And they're the people I enjoy talking to the most. And, there's meetups all over the world.
Yeah.
Anytime you're on a holiday or a trip, I always tend to look it up and see if I can just go down and hopefully they've got one when I'm there or a place to go like the Bitcoin warehouse where you can just, pull up your laptop. And if you have to do some work, it's open. You can come and hang out with us. And it's right downtown across the street from Rogers Arena where the Oilers play hockey. We've got a website that we just started, nothing special yet. It will be something special in the future, but obviously we're trying to make it, like a Bitcoin community, like some of the other ones around the world, like in Austin and stuff. So slowly, gradually, then suddenly, right? So.
And on that point too, I'd like to, when you're traveling around the world, if you're on a trip or whatnot, and you want to meet fellow Bitcoiners, the best way is Orange Pill app.
Oh yes,
there's an app on your Android or Apple App Store. Or Orange Pill app is what it's called. It's there is a bit of a monthly fee for it, or you can buy a lifetime membership. And the reason for the fee, and he said this, is strictly just to keep spam and bots off it, and it works fantastic. I mean, there's no spam.
Oh, that's the fee. Okay, that makes sense.
That's the fee, yeah. Because otherwise, you can only imagine how many bots.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the scammers and the bots and all that stuff.
We see this on X all the time. I mean, it's crazy. Like the spam is just insane already.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're getting close to the Fed meeting, so it'll be a fun afternoon to watch good old Twitter or X or whatever you would like to call it these days, and see what happens with the markets. And there'll be lots of good YouTube shows out there this afternoon. Usually, some of the best shows are some of the best ones that I like to watch. And maybe we should even talk about some of the channels we do watch, like some of our people, because
I was thinking that.
I don't know if I was new to this, how I went down the wrong path when I started my Bitcoin journey and who I watched. I won't even say the name out loud, but tell me maybe your top few.
So my top one now, and it changes a little bit, but is What Bitcoin Did on YouTube. Danny Knowles hosts it, and he has a wide variety of different guests there. And it for me, it doesn't really get old. He does definitely repeat guests. I mean, 100% he does, but it doesn't really get old for how much I watch. I pretty much watch every episode. I would say arguably very close to every episode. And that one is kind of my go-to one. I also watch the Bitcoin podcast with Walker quite frequently. I like that. I would say I don't listen to that one every episode. I do pick and choose a little bit on that one. Preston Pysh, I know you like that one. What's that one called again?
Preston Pysh. I think it's just he may have just changed the name a little bit because I know he's kind of doing a little bit of AI.
He's doing a tech spin to it now, yeah.
Yeah, and Bitcoin.
That's another good one.
Yeah, I think sometimes even the names, I'll give you some of mine, and I got to be honest, they're not like the ones that you've obviously stated are top tier podcasts. I do like to just get general news about the crypto world, but you have to be careful, in my opinion. It's okay that they talk about other things because they do talk about stocks and they do talk about macro and they do talk about stable coins or other things, right? So these names I'm going to say, but I think sometimes for somebody just beginning, like if you just jumped into What Bitcoin Did and that's the only one you watch, you're getting very high level information that's the best, but it could be very over some people's heads because I've tried to send that stuff to people. Sometimes when we start off with like the macro shows, kind of like what's going on with money in the world these days.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of state a few of mine, like James from Invest Answers. Been watching him for 5 years. Amazing show. Scott Melker, Wolf of Wall Street. Absolutely amazing. Every morning I listen to him. Just a great all-around show. I like to laugh. I like people that make me laugh. So when I'm getting my news, some of these people are actually they're super intellectual. They've been in this for way longer than either you or I. And they just have great guests. Natalie Brunel, I think
Yeah.
for some of our female people that might be watching this, I would definitely jump on Nat's show and watch that one every as much as it comes out. It's almost every day now.
Okay. I haven't listened to that one too much, but yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
definitely know of her, of
that's
course.
phenomenal. So yeah, maybe we'll try and as we progress this podcast, we'll maybe try and put some of the links to our favorite shows
Yeah,
in there. And
sure.
then also maybe we'll put the sponsors just of our local Bitcoin meetup event. And then we'll also put the link so that as we're sending this out, because I know I've not done a very good job at sharing this, Nick. Anybody, it's kind of scary to do it, right? Like we're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
starting.
of course.
I know we might make mistakes, so I apologize. Also, just need to state that none of this is financial advice. The other saying that, I know Nick and I talk about is don't trust, verify. I had people that got scammed in my office physically, like talking to them, and they're like, well, I just want to trust somebody. I'm like, well, just trust yourself. Do the work. Everybody wants this quick Bitcoin hit where it's just like, I want to get in and I want to get in right now and I want to put in $100,000 and I need it now. And I'm like, but you haven't put $100 in Bitcoin. So why don't we start with 100 and then work our way up to 1,000 and then work our way up to 5,000?
Yeah,
Because if you just go in bull, like just crazy, and you put in tons of money, you're going to make a mistake.
yeah,
The volatility will hit you. You're probably then going to sell at a loss and then get into something else that's terrible. And you're going to have a terrible crypto experience, a terrible Bitcoin experience. And then you're going to talk that message to all your family and friends, and then you're going to put them off instead of actually doing the work, like reading that book right there, The Bitcoin Standard.
yeah,
It's a little technical, but it's not overly technical. It can get complicated, but I think it's one of the best reads. The other
100%.
book,
Yeah,
The Hidden Cost of Money, that you
yeah,
gifted me, which I really appreciate. I know you've got lots of books
yeah.
in your background, so maybe we'll even put in some of our top
Books and
books
stuff.
to
Yeah.
read. So we've got a
We,
little bit of work to do, but we'll
yeah.
get that in the we'll just copy and paste it and put it in every show note so that people have it.
Yeah, and as well as books and podcasts, there's on our website, bitcoinwarehouse.ca, we have a bunch of resources
Yeah.
on there too, right? So those are, I mean, again, you do your own research for sure. Um, yeah, I would say like what I listened to 5 years ago when I was getting into Bitcoin is much different than I'm listening to now.
Yeah.
I'm listening to philosophy, the philosophy side of it. To be completely honest, my favorite two people in Bitcoin now probably is Eric Kaysen
Oh yeah.
and American Hodl. Those guys are probably like my two, I would say, two favorite people to listen to. Maybe not my favorite Bitcoiners, but my two favorite people to listen to because they always have, they all crazy different perspective on things but if you're new listening to those two, I mean, you're just going to be like, these guys are crazy. And they are a little bit fair,
Just for the audience
but
to know, Nick sometimes has a little tinfoil hat on, but I think that's part of Bitcoin is learning the truth about the bigger world and how money works. And yeah, God bless Bitcoin. A great place to start your journey on YouTube.
yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, what is the problem? Yeah, that's a great one. That's a short YouTube, what it's about a 25-minute YouTube
30
clip, something
minutes,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, something
Yep.
like that. And it's really easy to understand, kind of gets the point across. And yeah, that's a really good one. I think that one might be on our website. We can put a bunch of these in the show notes for sure. I'll help you out with that over the next week or two here, Casey.
Sounds good. Well, I think
Yeah.
we'll wrap it for the day. We're sitting at about just a little over 30 minutes. We're going to try and keep these somewhere between 30 minutes to 45, maybe an hour if we have a guest. It's going to be random. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
random things. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts before we wrap, and then I'll just finish it up and
Nope, that's all the points I wanted to hit. I was just looking at my notes.
perfect.
So yeah.
So yeah, no, all I would say to the audience is, this channel is called Proof of Work. So put in the work, do the reading, do the studying, get off of Netflix, get off of Prime Video, get off of your scrolling on Instagram, and actually do some work, and you'll be rewarded in the long term. So thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Casey.